Alright, welcome back to Thronebreaker here on Serious Gaming. A bit of resources, and then... Seem the race. Really? I mean, the map is not really useful in any respect here. Anyway, we have to break the siege of Aldersberg somehow. Pretty sure the city did fall canonically. Or was it Vengerberg? One of them.
The Lyrians stood within 5 miles of Aldersberg, when the road, which until now they had traveled alone, suddenly filled with all manner of folk. Peasants, merchants, and wounded fighters in tattered uniforms. They trod solemnly in the opposite direction, their worldly possessions on their backs.
Aldersberg's fallen, my lady.
Sighed one of the refugees with a forlorn shrug.
Outer walls breached. King still defends the old town, but black-clad goats are winning. You'd best turn back before it's too late.
We've nowhere to turn to, good man.
The queen said, then spurred on her horse.
Follow me!
The queen galloped so fast the wind squeezed tears from her eyes, the Lyrian cavalry close at her heels. Hoofbeats thundered down the high road, and the crowd of refugees parted, making a path for the charging riders.
Faster! Faster!
Soon they set eye on Aldersberg. A red glow filled the horizon, the wind carried screams and the clanking of steel. The once proud city was quickly turning to dust in the Nilfgaardian sun. The Nilfgaardian force moved to block the Lyrians' way. Without slowing, Meve cut down the infantryman who tried to drag her from her saddle with a hook. Her head in a winged helmet fell to the ground, leaving a bloody track.
Lyrians! Attack!
Meve shouted.
Take no prisoners!
Then we shall fight. The invading forces ignored the Lyrians at first. After all, the Nilfgaardians were better equipped, better trained, and most importantly, held a considerably numerical advantage. However, their supremacy quickly began to vanish. Black-clad soldiers fell one after the other to the blows from Meve's infantry. The Nilfgaardian commander, watching in disbelief, trumpeted for reinforcements. You've been hit by a cavalry force in the back, along with a combined cavalry and infantry force. You're gonna lose, son. Alright, we begin.
Bloody hell. You shan't stop me. Not now.
Draw a copy of this unit. Discard all copies of this unit from hand and deck. Alright. Fuck it. Here comes the dog. That was a wise move, right? Ah, he's sending the fucking division.
Left.
Let
right,
them come.
Left, right.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
I don't have any time for this nonsense.
Company! Forward march!
Again and again and again.
As expected, he passed his turn. Alright, I won this first round. Next one. Let the battle of the city really begin. I can probably res him. No. Yeah, I think I'll keep this.
What do you want of me?
Get
Arms
back up
waste
there,
of time
soldier.
for one like me.
End this turn. And this turn again. Being frustrating, really. Ow! You damn bitches. I will not deal with that nonsense.
My scars? No, they don't hurt.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads.
Yeah, black clad, why not?
Thing about slings, they hide well.
And turn. Your turn, Nilfgaardian. The Impera. Alright then. No. This shall have to wait.
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are
Bring in the scythes. But I'm not done. So much for your damn division, Nilfgaardian. You know, I get the feeling a lot of reviewers only played like the first chapter of the game. At least based on the videos they've shown and the things they talk about. It's like, oh, the regular battles don't teach you all that much. My ass, they don't. Because there's very few regular battles here. Pick a card. Any card. Hold on. Play a card from your deck. Come on. Fuck. Oh, show cards. My bad.
Left, right, left, right.
No, I have the highest. Gascon.
Quick and painful this'll be.
I certainly hope so.
Discipline.
For
That's
them.
what you folk lack.
The Alba division? Holy crap. Where's Mano Cohorn, by the way?
I fear not, for faith guides me.
Well, your faith. Should not leave me wanting. I'm passing, by the way. No reason to use the Dark Mirror. Done.
Your Grace, all that was but their rear guard.
Alright.
The Lyrians managed to scatter the Nilfgaardian battalion, one of many besieging Aldersberg. Their scouts brought before the Queen a prisoner freed from the invaders. Meve inquired about the situation in the city.
Turned the right slaughterhouse it has. The Imperials, King had the city cleared, my lady, but didn't budge himself. Holding out with his guard in Old Town, walls still standing there. Said he'd fight to the end, come what may.
Meve weighed her options. The situation looked dire. Demavend, to whom she had come for help, needed help himself. Nilfgaard enjoyed an overwhelming advantage. The small Lyrian detachment stood no chance of breaking the siege. But to retreat, surrender, that was not something Meve did.
The Nilfgaardians do not expect a relief force. Rayla, you know Aldersberg. Can you lead us by side streets to the Old Town, that we may avoid the largest part of the Nilfgaardian army?
The warrior nodded, and without waiting for any further orders, strode out in front of the party. Reynard followed her with his gaze, clearly troubled.
And what then, Your Majesty? We burst into the lion's den and...
And we pray the lion chokes. Follow me!
The walls crushed and breached. The lower town in flames. Hundreds, thousands wounded. Thousands more fled.
King Demavend will fight. Turn back. Turn back while the walls.
No matter was a hamster, and up, Rabot, Art Fan Esna.
Gods have mercy. And demons take it all.
We can't defeat the... Holy fuck.
Taking advantage of the confusion, Meve maneuvered her troops to the very walls of the old town. Spying Lyrian banners, the defenders suspected a trap. But when they noticed Black Railer among them, they immediately lowered the drawbridge. The old town was a maze of brothels and shady taverns. In normal times, students and other pleasure seekers prowled its dark alleys. Now, tired soldiers slumped in every corner, though the Lyrians' arrival clearly buoyed their spirits. The Fraternal Realms warriors clasped each other's hands and swapped tales. Even Aedirn's king, Demavend, made no secret of his pleasure at seeing these unexpected arrivals.
Meve! Of all the besieged cities in all the world, you walk into mine. Come to the rescue, have you?
To be quite frank, I've come to be rescued.
Oh, yes. I've heard much of the events in Lyria. Disgraceful. Such betrayal. However, as you might have noticed, things are none too rosy here either.
Yes, that is hard to miss.
I thought we'd trade blows with the Blackclads. That it would be an even match. 2 weeks. That sufficed to annihilate the army I'd spent my whole lifetime building.
Your Majesty, I cannot say what fate will bring, if we shall reach this war's end alive. But I wish to say now that I admire you.
Oh?
You evacuated the city, yet refused to evacuate yourself. You fight to the bitter end, like a hero.
But of course. A king must lead by example, after all.
Reynard, that rumbling, you hear it? Studded boots on cobblestones. The Nilfgaardians. Prepare the men for battle.
Yes, Your Grace.
So, now that we're alone, what's really going on?
What? Did you not hear? I'm defending my capital, like a hero.
Please, Demavend, I know you too fucking well. To say that this guy's a cunt would be giving him praise.
Demavend, please, don't feed me that drivel. We've known each other far too long. Why did you stay?
Meve. As meddling as you are beautiful. See that building? That one there?
The brothel? The Crimson Bodice?
Precisely. So, but promise not to laugh. I'm a patron. A loyal one, in fact. One of the girls there, Demeretta. She's marvelous. Makes me feel young again.
A young fool, you mean? Demavend, there's a war on, and...
Allow me to finish. Demeretta became, well, with child. Exactly 9 months ago. Understand now?
She's entered confinement. Having contractions.
Since yesterday. You see, I cannot leave her like this. Can't have her moved. I must stay put until she gives birth.
And then what? Pray tell. Invite all of Nilfgaard to the christening?
No, my dear. There is a hidden tunnel deep beneath the city, leading far beyond its walls. Once the midwives cut the cord, we flee.
Demavend, you risk the lives of thousands of men for a single child. For a bastard to boot.
Meve, I would kill thousands of men for my child. Born in wedlock or out, it changes nothing.
It changes everything. One way the babe inherits the throne, the other...
You argue succession while I speak of a father's love. But I shouldn't expect you to understand. Your heart, ice through and through, always has been. No wonder, villain.
Your Majesties, the Nilfgaardians are attacking.
Meve, we must hold out. A few hours, that's all.
I'll do what I can.
Meve, you utter fool. Midwives advise that women in the throes of childbirth be surrounded with a sense of calm and security. She's been afforded no such luxuries. As she opened her eyes between contractions, she witnessed the flaming missiles of an Nilfgaardian war machine streak across the sky, and lifeless soldiers sighed from the fort's walls. Faster. Faster, my angel. I'll eliminate enough Nausicaa brigade to give Meve time to escape. Can I even do it?
Defend the king! We must stop them!
Inarin Yarde Crowfair.
Aye!
I've hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
Ah! I want their hedge! Anvalnen order!
Meve! They're getting close! Devils take all, help me!
Aye!
Barbarians. Meve! We must hold on a bit longer.
Alright, 5 turns.
Again and again and again. Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Alright, we're gonna destroy that one.
My pain serves a purpose.
Left, right, left.
We must trust
right.
each other.
This harvest will be reaping black-clad heads. My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Yeah, yeah!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
Prepare to fight, if you've any honor.
Alright. Well, I actually do want to attempt destroying that, right?
Defend the king! We must stop them!
Aye!
We'll catch 'em all!
Ah!
Inarin Yalde Crowfair.
I want their hate! Anvalnen order! Ah. Ah! Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Aye! Barbarians. Meve! We must hold on a bit longer.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
Alright.
For Demavend!
Alright, Demavend.
Ah! Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
Alba!
When will you ever learn?
Gloire! Aye!
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Company! Forward march!
No! A chase!
Ha ha ha! It worked! Now retreat to the tunnel!
With their forces combined, the rulers managed to hold the old town long enough for Demereta to bear the king's offspring, a healthy, hardy boy. When the midwife slapped the infant, his scream carried above the roar of battle. Soon afterwards, the defenders abandoned the walls and left the city through a secret tunnel. The Nilfgaardians, furious that not one but two northern sovereigns were among the escapees, razed Aldersberg to the ground.
Thank you. If not for you, the devils would have devoured us.
I should say it was nothing. But the truth is, I need your aid.
Aid? But you see, my army is no more. I must pull back, regroup.
Pull back? Where to? The golden sun flies over your entire realm.
To Redania, to take shelter at the court there.
And then? Will you sit and watch the fool juggle apples as Nilfgaard parcels all Aedirn out to its settlers?
Meve, one must know when to fold and when to double down. Nilfgaard has stretched the front. Winter will soon be here. Let the costs claw away at them. A year, two, then we strike. And we shall prove the Empire is a colossus with feet of clay.
Fine. Do as you see fit.
He's not wrong.
And you?
I can't live like that.
So what shall you do instead?
Fight on. Until I win. Or the black-clad curs tear me apart.
Gods, such pity I have for your husband. The poor man must have had a rough go of it.
He seemed content with his life while it lasted. Yet I'm serious, Demavend, in my request. You truly won't aid me. Provide nothing at all.
I will tell my men whoever so wishes can join your party and fight on. But please, curb your excitement. They are tired. Few will choose the path of greater resistance. But... Are you familiar with the saying, when at wit's end, a dwarf's your friend?
Yes, it and many others. Yet as much as I appreciate folk wisdom, I prefer facts to philosophy at the moment. Preferably facts relevant to my situation.
How about this? Mahakam is but a week's ride from here. And there you'll find thousands of dwarves armed to the teeth. Enough to turn the tides of this war, I venture.
Yes, they could. If not for another fact. That the dwarves have always been famously indifferent to strife between humans. They'll never come to my aid. Bah! I doubt they'll even let me into their land.
Unless you show them this. The leaden ring. A token of amity given to me by the elder-in-chief. That's not to say they'll welcome you with open arms. But they will hear you out. And that is something.
Dwarven infantry I'd make good use of. I shall do as you say. Or at least try.
Good. And to ease your journey somewhat, I'll give you as your guide the best man, or rather woman, for the task. Rayla!
Yes, Your Grace?
You've been to Mahakam with me many times. You know their paths. Take Queen Meve and her party there.
If it be your wish, my king, I shall obey.
I'll send messengers ahead that the dwarfs may expect your arrival. Until then, good luck, Meve. And may we one day waltz upon the grave of our foe, Emperor Emir.
I think he'll waltz on your grave, and that defaultest hence Sultan Radovid by the end of all of it.
May it be so. Just as long as I get to lead.
I mean, Radovid's an infant here, but hey, Emir's gonna win in the end. And even if he loses, even if you go with that stupid ending where you let Radovid win, or you let Dijkstra win, or whatever, he still took all of them out.
Ah, of course. Farewell, Queen.
Well, minus the fact that CD Projekt couldn't give a fuck about Meve, her character in the entire East in the war, but hey, better to focus on the Father Otter story than on the actual important shit.
Meve left Aldersberg in ill spirits. Rather than provide the help she had hoped for, Demavend had merely sent her on to Mahakam. Her way west was lit first by the glow of a burning city, then by the smouldering remains of charred villages by the roadside. It was clear the war against Nilfgaard had taken a bitter turn. Each stranger was now treated as an enemy, and the customarily hospitable Aedirnians slammed their doors at anyone's approach. The party's morale was somber as well, and did not even improve with the first sight of mountains looming in the distance. Wandering among the ashes, Meve entered the dwarves' domain. Along perilously steep paths, Black Rayla led the Queen and company towards Mahakam, the Dwarven homeland. There, among snow-capped peaks, someone awaited.
Rayla, you brought strangers.
Gabor, I present to you Meve, Queen of Lyria and Rivia.
Ah, a queen. Crivens. Well then.
A large shadow swept across the sky. The dwarf swallowed the rest of his greeting as all raised their gazes to see a dragon soar swiftly toward Mount Carbon.
Keltalus, dinna be afeard, he isn't a threat to us.
The dwarf had broken the silence gently, he himself quite familiar with this altogether unusual sight.
And now, sit yourselves down afore the pottage grows cold.
Aye, up, but... Flew. Drake?
Stone shrivelling marvel, innit? Makes you almost sad the lizards are dying out.
Should you not worry more about the fate of your brethren? That creature will soon have all Mahakam aflame.
Ha! Keltalus? No! He's lived here centuries. Harmless for the most part. Now, your grace. A taste?
No, none. Though your offer of repast I value, good sir.
Oh, no need of that. Gabor, please. Enchanted to make your acquaintance.
Gabor here's a true local notable, from one of Mahakam's leading clans, the Zigrins. But then he wouldn't be our guide if he wasn't. A guide for all important guests.
A pleasure. And as I said, I thank you for your hospitality, but I've no time to feast now. I must speak to your ruler at once.
Don't mean no offence, but Elder-in-Chief Bruverhoog's a recluse of sorts, as humans go. Didn't even meet the ones that wear crowns. But I suppose I could, meaning if you drafted a letter...
Her Majesty's got Demoven's signet, given willingly.
Ah. Well, that's a sheep of a different sort. We didn't let many human folk into Mahakam, and for good reason. So those who we let come through the second gate get blindfolded. Just after they've surrendered their arms at the first. But you've the leaden ring. Given one of your kind to confirm trust and amity. So, we're certain we can treat you as one of our own. Elder-in-Chief's in the pass visiting. Looking to his flock. Come on. No reason you two shouldn't jabber right quick.
Alright.
Though the Lyrian infantry rose half an ell taller than the dwarf, he moved with remarkable ease through the waist-high snow, while those behind him slipped and stumbled on the ice-slick rocks. Meve and Rayla trailed the party, so they might speak in private.
Non-humans you despised immensely, I believed.
They don't bother me a bit. Long as they stay in their lands, seek fortune nowhere else. I detest only those who infest our cities, humbly insist on belonging to our guilds, holding office in our institutions, armies.
Yet some find a place for themselves, blend in marvellously.
It's never lasting. They're different, odd. Strain's inevitable. And then they'll always stab a human in the back.
The ring. However did Demoven come to possess it?
Elder-in-Chief himself gave it to him, years ago. A decade, perhaps more.
Why?
Oh, you must have heard the tale, Your Grace. You see, formerly, Foltest of Temeria's sovereign of Mahakam, he believed it was his right to tax any Leand lands, so he sent collectors.
Oh, that must have gone down beautifully.
Well, the dwarves felt stripped, so they stripped the collectors down to their natural state. put them in beer barrels, they then rolled down the mountainside.
Ah, my. That incited Foltest's ire, I'm sure.
Indeed, Ember hot ire. A punitive expedition was assembled immediately. We're about to set off when Demoven managed to dissuade Foltest. Elder-in-Chief gave him the ring in thanks.
I see it all now. Prevented Mahakam's slaughter, Demoven did.
Your Majesty. Demoven prevented a slaughter, true. But Foltest's in the Temerians, not the Dwarves. Mahakam and fortifications. Well, you'll soon see. No human will take them. Ever.
The Elder's gratitude, then? Not certain I know where it came from.
Had the Dwarves crushed the Temerians? No, when they had done so, what would have happened? Why, retaliation against all non-humans in Temeria. Bruver knew this, so in fact, Demoven saved them.
Exceptionally provident, the Elder-in-Chief.
And shrewd as a swarm of snakes. So when you speak, beware his hiss, and weigh your every word.
Rayla, your aid proved an unexpected bounty.
I received orders. I fulfilled them to their end.
My, I see. And what will you do now?
Our paths diverge, not more. I return home now, where new orders surely await.
Demoven has fled to the Redanian court, where he shall cower and not show his mug until spring has sprung. You know this. Would you not prefer to remain in my ranks? Fight the Black Ones bound at the hip?
No, Your Grace.
You have no love for me, do you?
We are not of the same stock, Your Grace, so it's hardly my place to...
Stock and place be ploughed. We must speak from our hearts. Two women, no enmity. Tell me why. I did something you could not abide.
It was what you did not do, rather. In Aedirn, you are far too lenient on those elves. As you are ever, prepared to forgive, extend clemency.
What would you have me do? Let you cleanse, rid the wood of all non-humans?
Wickedness demands wickedness. Blood calls for blood.
Very well, Rayla. Then go and drink of it if you must.
Lips pursed, eyes locked, Meve and Rayla took each other's measure a last time. The warrior then bowed in a manner some might think excessively courtly, turned on her heel, and rode off down a slope. Meve gazed after her until she disappeared behind a snowbank, then gave her mount a solid dose of her heels, and rode on, irked as a hare in a briar patch.
Your Grace, I've a message. For your eyes only.
Oh. Report. Stable, unchanged for centuries, no evidence of internal opposition, open or covert power. Mahakam, held by Elder-in-Chief Bruver Hong, ruling on behalf of the clans. Warning. He's a extremely difficult negotiating partner. Tiresome to get him to sit down to talks. Definitely wearying to convince him to make even minor compromises. Only values good of Mahakam and its inhabitants. Appeals to anything else lead nowhere. Promised, your son is a king in name only. True power is held by Count Caldwell and General Abdahi. From what I hear, both lust for sole control. Thus conflict between them is inevitable. Soon Nilfgaard will start expelling peasants from the lands of Lyria and Rivia and importing their own settlers to replace them. Vellum tries to delay the process, but General Abdahi will not relent. Indeed, I see. Well, I lost Rayla. Can't say I'm surprised by that necessarily. I made decisions that were...
Your Grace?
Farewell, Ake.
I did what had to be done, I feel.
Hey ho, how's my favourite queen in the north?
You and Reynard, do you get along?
Like a cat and a hound. Get it? 'Cause they call me...
Yes, your jests are easily understood. Far more difficult to enjoy.
That's probably true, in your royal high and mightiness's case.
Will you answer my question?
We get along because we must. Though it'd be far easier if he pulled the lance from his arse.
Haven't heard a truer word in a long while.
What was that?
Nothing. Time I attended to other matters. Farewell.
Okay, she agrees
Yes, Your
with
Grace.
Gascon.
How go things, Reynard? You and Gascon get along now, I hope.
Well, you might say we've established a certain rapport, Your Grace.
Tell me more, friend.
I don't pry into his affairs, nor he into mine.
I'd prefer it if my commanders worked together more closely.
Your Grace, the man's a brigand.
Oh, Reynard. He was a brigand.
I must disagree, I fear. Yes, he stopped thieving for now, but only because it's convenient, so to speak. Gascon isn't a changed man. He still hasn't an ounce of honor, dignity.
Yet he has a unit of armed men, without which we'd be much worse off. Might not even have survived.
Agreed. The Strays are excellent fighters. I'd be the first to admit it. I only fear they might turn on us. Leap at our throats when we least expect it.
It's time I attend. Isbel?
Apologies. Thoughts consume me sometimes. Is there something you need?
Since we left Aedirn, you've seemed unsettled. Is all in order?
I've seen many wars in my time. All ugly, all repulsive. But what the Imperials did at Aldersberg was... it was unforgivable.
Nilfgaard. That's what it does, Isbel. They seek here to repeat the rape of Sintra, the slaughter there.
Yes, I saw that. I was there. And at Sodden.
Then you know of what they're capable.
After Sodden, I took an oath never to take part in another war. Such suffering, such hatred, senseless, all those deaths.
Senseless deaths? Our troops sacrificed their lives in defense of their homeland, loved ones.
I must believe there's a better way. Forgive me, Mum. I must gather my thoughts. Never mind about me, though. I shall perform my duties to my utmost, as ever, as always.
You speak with my soldiers a good deal. Said so yourself. I'd like to know what about.
Corporal Larkin, Ma'am. Do you know him? Captain Oisin, perhaps? Or Lieutenant Tegan?
Of course I know them. Among my best. They've served me loyally for years.
You know them? But did you know that in fleeing Lyria, the corporal left behind a newborn daughter? His wife was in confinement when you gave the order to march. The corporal could not go to see them. And true, the captain has no wife, no child. But he's not seen his brother in 5 years. Never once been granted leave. Your General Odo's orders always taking precedence.
Allow me to guess. You shall now tell me Tegan abandoned his sick mother to follow me.
No, Ma'am. Count Caldwell's men murdered the lieutenant's kin. Retaliation for his joining your rebellion. He learned of this just recently.
Enough. You've made your point. Yet even were I to order them to return, they wouldn't listen. They know they've got nothing to go home to while Nilfgaard occupies our land. Duty calls.
Of course.
Yes, milady?
You choose not to follow your king, Xavier. Why?
To fight in the field, with you. This was my wish, my lady.
But what of your home? Rosberg must be rebuilt. Engineers are needed.
I've no kin in Rosberg. No soul left for me there. All I've left is revenge.
I understand. Other matters await.
As you wish, my lady.
Your Grace, I need to speak with your quartermaster. Excuse my Elvish, but I can't drink that goat's piss he serves in the mess.
Reynard's doing, no doubt. He doesn't like the men to drink too much.
To be blunt, ma'am, what Reynard himself needs is to get good and bloated for once in his stiff life. So, I have a proposal for you. A shipment of the best Dwarven mead and lager. I can arrange for you to arrive. Trust me, the men's morale's nae like to be a problem when they pour a bit of fire in their guts.
Good point. Very well.
Oh, you've my thanks, dear Queen. A few more days of that and I'd have been lapping up puddle water.
I trust you'll arrange the details.
Of course, no worries. You dinna ken how happy a dwarf you've made me. Ah, right. And the men too, of course.
You're a Zigrin, are you not? I know the name. One of your clan slew the dragon Ockvist.
Aye. You're thinking of Yarpen. Cousin of my cousin. Left Mahakam when I was but a wee snot. Decent enough dwarf, but never could conform to our basic tenets and laws.
Though, admittedly, we've so damned many it's hard to keep them from leaking out your ears.
Is it that bad?
I'll put it this way. Among human folk, you cannae steal, brawl, murder. All the basics. In Mahakam, we've got laws about how to braid our beards. But I'm no one to complain. The Zilgrins are well-to-do, one of the richer clans. Got more than enough goods to suit our needs. Though, we've got some bads as well.
What do you mean?
Bah! Nae worth your time. I didn't mean to bother you. Sides, best to jabber of such things over a cold pint. Or keg?
Your elder. I'd like to know more. Do tell me about him, please.
One tough horseman, Brewer. Stubborn as an old goat, as you'll soon see for yourself. All in all, though, he's nae as scary as some say. Been keeping the clans in check for some 2 centuries now. Which is nae a small feat, I might add, no.
No conflicts between them all this time. Are you certain?
I can't tell if you're jesting. At each other's throats each day they are. Breckenrigs despise the Chives. Aldersbergs would scratch out the Hoog's eyes given half the chance. As for us, we hate them arse-licking foxes. But Brewer's got his ways, keeps each yen in line. If not for him, Mahakam would have fallen to bits ages past.
Why?
Round 150 years ago, when the elves were fighting that hopeless war against your folk, the Aedirn chief ordered the pass to Mahakam sealed tight. If it weren't for that, we'd have ended up like the pointy ears. As it was, we waited for the shite storm to abate. Didn't open the pass and stretch your legs again till it were safe.
Yes, I remember. The manufactories in Rivia have yet to recover.
With all due respect, your grace, your workshops forge utter crap. It's nae our fault that human folk prefer Dwarven goods. Basic market principles, that's all it is.
I feel enlightened, Gabor. Thank you. We shall return to this conversation later.
No skin off my back.
Alright. Well, I can certainly upgrade. Units will take up 25% less of the recruit cap. How very nice of them. Decreases the gold cost of creating units by 25%. Each units gain 1 arm. Fuck! That's powerful. Increases recruit cap. Okay. Anything else? Rivian Onager. Well, I don't have enough wood for it. Alchemist laboratory. Okay. No. So I lost Rela because I wasn't brutal enough to the Scoia'tael, I guess. Fair enough. I may have made some decisions she disagreed with. And a mysterious ability lies within. Clearly. I wonder what that mysterious ability is. Alright, Mahakam. Seems fairly straightforward, actually. Believe it or not, like, you would go here, but you would stop. It's also something that seems smaller. A lot smaller than the other ones. Anyway, Christine here, signing out.